you have any updates on Jimmy, Goran, or Bam?
Just the ones that have already been released about Goran and Bam. Jimmy is the same as last night.
Tim Reynolds over here on your right.
Twitter guys, check Twitter.
Hey, I'm not even on Twitter, and I knew it.
That's good. What is the neck part for Bam new?
Oh yeah. It's a different injury than his previous shoulder injury. It's on the same side, so it's easy to, draw a comparison. But it's a different injury.
Okay. I obviously you're not on the floor today. You've got a lot of uncertainty with a couple of starters doubtful, and
yeah.
Is the blue card now? Is there all sorts of stuff written on it, or do you have a sense of what tomorrow night is going to end up looking like?
Well, no, that's part of the process. You have to go through your plan A, plan B, plan C. We love getting to work as a group. It's not going to be, between the four lines and grinding it out. It's just looking for solutions and trying to get to a better version of our game against a quality opponent. We all know that we have to play much better than we did last night at all levels. And that's what today will be about.
Next question is Ira Winderman.
Eric, you had a very successful different lineup during the regular season. It was a different style. It was a bigger lineup. If you have to go back in that direction to cycle back after such dramatic changes, how much work will that entail? Or you always talk about sort of players have that muscle memory. Do you think you can get back to what previously was if Kendrick is starting, say, and maybe Myers plays a little more? Or did this success sort of create optimism for that? Thank you.
At this point, it's all hands on deck. And it's not like the guys that were, potentially slotting into the rotation haven't played before. These guys have confidence and have played big roles for us all year long. Our depth has been one of our biggest strengths. It's not just coach speak. We've utilized our depth all year long. The other benefit of all of this is we've been in this bubble with an extra training camp, and everybody's gotten great work in, regardless of, whether they've gotten big time minutes in these playoff series. We'll just have to see, tomorrow who's available and make the adjustments accordingly.
Kyle Goon here in front.
Sort of along those lines with Kendrick and Kelly, is the kind of second halves they had, even though it was obviously in very adverse circumstances for the team. Is that something that you feel is helpful for guys who might be playing a bigger role in game two?
Yeah, look, it's not like they haven't played this year. Those guys have both played, significant roles for us at different times during the season. And we've seen them play extremely well here in the practice setting. I said it last night. It's more from a human standpoint, for Kate Nunn, to have to go through COVID and showing up, to the bubble 25 days late. That's something that's real. You have empathy for him. He's really worked behind the scenes. We have confidence in him. The other series played out just the way we felt that it would be best for those series. But he didn't, put his tail between his legs and just feel sorry for himself. That's not how he got to this point. This guy has great competitive character. He's had to overcome, a lot. And he was a big weapon for us during the course of the year. So it was good to see him get that kind of rhythm. That wasn't anything that notified this head coach, oh, now I can trust him. I'm watching him behind the scenes when nobody else is watching. And I love seeing him, work at it and just checking all the boxes to make sure he's ready when the opportunity presented itself.
Malika?
So what is a day like today for you in terms of prep, with one day in between kind of making these adjustments, even with that kind of next man up mentality? What does it look like in terms of prepping and adjusting for tomorrow?
Well, we'll get to work once we finish all this. We'll go back and get together as a team and work for some solutions. And that's, again, what I enjoy, arguably the most about this group is, the commitment just to get better, not to get caught up in a bunch of different things, but to work to collectively to try to get to our best version. That was not our best version last night. And obviously the Lakers had something to say about that. Their game was really good, and that's something we're going to have to adjust to. But, it's tough to even evaluate some of the things according to our game, because it wasn't our best version.
Scott, right here.
I'm good.
Tim Reynolds right here, and then we'll go to Zoom.
Eric, you've been down in a lot of series. You've been down in finals before. How much do you, obviously not with this group, it's new for them, but how much do you and the staff, Pat, everybody who's going to have a voice and an opinion in the next 36 hours, how much do you savor these times? Because, history says you don't shy away from them. Like, you almost find some sort of strange comfort in these moments. How much you prefer the alternative, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Right.
how much have you grown to like these in some weird way?
I'm not like sick in the mind like that. But this is when you feel most alive, when you're being tested competitively and challenged in new ways, different ways. This is a quality opponent. This is the way the whole playoff system is supposed to be set up. It's supposed to get tougher and more challenging every single round, and may the best team win at the very end. And that's what we'll work for today. We took it on the chin last night. Only counts as one, but we know that we didn't play well. We didn't compete at a high enough level. Lakers did. I think they were the more physical team, and also we're just playing their game and imposing their game way more than ours. And then that's what makes this matchup interesting. It's contrasting styles. And so we'll just work for some better solutions for tomorrow.
Next question is Anthony Chang.
So you've said all season how important it is for Duncan to be aggressive. The 3 shots yesterday, how much of that was what the Lakers did to limit his touches, and how much is it on Duncan to be more aggressive?
Usually in these type of things, all things can be true. I think, each round, the scouting report on Duncan Robinson becomes much more laser detailed. And he's earned that respect. And he continues, to figure out how to figure out different ways to be more assertive, to help out our offense more. He's as persistent as anyone. So just when you think that you can put him in one box, he finds out a way to be aggressive and put pressure on good defenses, and I expect him to do the same thing. We do need more to our menu. He gives us some of that catch and shoot element, regardless of whether he's shooting or not. If he gets more attempts and he's really finding those moments in between to find spots where the ball finds energy, that can also move the needle as well for us.
Message after, not just the game yesterday, but also with a couple of guys now being banged up?
Just to stay calm. I think that there was a lot of nerves because it was the first time any of us has been in the finals. I mean, obviously because Spo, OG, and Dre. But knowing we may be a couple men down, other guys are going to have to step up in a big way. So I'm really, really excited to see how we bounce back, but I think we're capable of it.
Tim, over here on your right.
4 hours been for you to go through game one, not have it go the way you want, find out Goran's hurt, find out now Bam's got a neck thing as well. It's just like the hits just keep on coming. How tough has it been on you?
They say when it's bad when it rains, it pours. All in all, though, we're still expected to win. We got here for a reason. We realize we belong, but we also realize how well we have to play on both ends of the floor to give ourselves a chance to win. Obviously, we definitely need those two guys, don't get me wrong. But we've always said next man up when a man goes down. And right now we're definitely going to have to do that. But I think it's tough to lose. You know, your mind's moving at 1,000 miles per hour, you know, obviously not sleeping. But it's just because we all care. We all want to win. We all want to be champions.
Next question, Mark Medina.
Hey, Jimmy, a two-part question here. First, how's your ankle feeling today? And what's your approach overall in trying to play through pain?
Just find a way to win when it comes to being injured. If you can go, try to go. If you can't, you just can't. That's just the way that the game goes sometimes. And as far as I am right now, I'm okay. But it's like I always say, nobody cares. As long as I suit up and go out there and compete, I'm expected to produce and try to help win. So if I suit up, which I will, better win the game.
Dan, over here on your right.
Hey, Jimmy, kind of two questions. One, how did the Lakers' physicality, you think, affect game one? And then secondly, what has happened throughout this year that gives you confidence in this group that they can withstand this level of adversity?
I mean, I think they imposed their will, and they were just the tougher team. They played the style of basketball that they wanted to play. We got away from our type of basketball, and I think it definitely played into their hands. You talking about adversity. I mean, for us, we thrive in that. And I say it all the time. I mean, if you look at it, everybody probably thought they was going to do that to us anyways. They probably think they're going to do it to us 3 more times in a row. I beg to differ. Nobody picked us to be here. Like I said, we embrace it. We love it. But we know that we can win. We do. But we know that we got to play perfect, man. We know we can't not rebound and not get back. So coming into game 2, all the adversity, backs against the wall, yada, 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 we're going to win.
Dave, here in the front.
Jimmy, the Lakers have been up and down from the outside this postseason. Last night, they started off the game 11 for 17 from 3. If you've had a chance to digest the tape or look back at it, were they just a team that got hot, or was there something about your defensive coverage that was lacking?
We just didn't make a miss. They weren't uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. They threw the ball where they wanted to throw the ball. They got to where they wanted to get to on the floor. That's not the way we're supposed to play as an organization, as a team. The Miami Heat is supposed to be way more physical, way more tougher. And if you give a team with that much talent, that type of confidence, good luck. So moving forward, got to switch that up.
Go ahead, Rob.
Next question will be Jason Jackson.
Jimmy, the response that's necessary during those runs, I know mostly has to do with defense, but if the Lakers get on those types of runs, is there a proper offensive response so that it's not, those massive gaps of whatever it was, 11-1, 13-0, whatever?
I mean, I feel like all year long we've always scored enough points to put ourselves in a position to win. I think it's always going to come down to getting the stop and then cutting the water off on the defensive end. But whenever we're not making shots, I think our defense tends to trickle in the way of it's not being very good. Whenever we are making shots, we seem to get stops. I think it should be the other way around, though, letting our defense dictate our offense. I think that's how we have to play in the series. I feel like whenever we play like that all year long, we're pretty good.
Next question, Ramona Shelburne.
Jimmy, I just have I'm just wondering if you guys have talked a lot about how being in the bubble has brought you guys closer as a team, and just why you guys like the bubble so much. Why is it that has brought you guys so close? And do you think you draw on that now with all the adversity you face?
We're going to have to. We really do enjoy being around one another. We really do care about each other. Obviously, we want to win, so we care about that as well. But we're going to need everybody to be clear in the mind going into game 2 and all these other games because we're going to need everybody so locked in and so focused. And I think we care enough to be able to tell each other the truth when somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, knowing that, like, we're around each other so much, ain't nobody going to tell nobody no lie. We can tell when something's bothering you. So as long as we're in each other's corners as we have been all year long, we're going to need that moving forward. But being here in the bubble, it just suits us because we like being around one another.
Scott, last question here.
Jimmy, I was just curious if you were able to talk to Goran last night or this morning, and did you get a sense for what his mindset is? Obviously difficult for him to be going through this personally.
Yeah, I talk to G all the time. That's my guy. It's just tough to see him in this position because he cares about the game, cares about his teammates, and he really wants to win. Obviously, we want him out there with us. We know that. We need him. He's been huge for us in the playoffs all year long in the sense of doing whatever he was asked to do. Come off the bench, start, score, facilitate, whatever. But it's bigger than basketball. We care about him as a person and want him to be right. I can talk to him as much as I can, but you can hear that pain in his voice of him feeling like that he may have let us down, but he did not. And I want him to know that he's carried us to this point, and it's only our duty to pay that back to him right now.
Things between guys, just the anxiousness and anxieties that come with the game, just enjoying the process and making the most of it, embracing it, through the good and the bad. So you're taking it one day, one game at a time, and you're locked in so much, and there's so much going in your brain because you want to win so bad. Those are all good things.
This team obviously deals with adversity well. How is the spirit of the team today?
We got a strong unit, a very tough competitive unit. So, we've been through a lot this season, through the length of it, through guys being in and out. So, I think the spirit's really good where it needs to be, and just being ready and excited to get another crack at it tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, last call for anybody else.
I could add one more.
Sure, go ahead, Barry.
Sure, thanks. I just want to ask you about Kendrick. Played well, obviously, last night. Anything you spotted in him last night that had changed? Was it just getting back into a rhythm and making shots?
Well, he's done a great job of just staying ready. That's something we all talk about with the Heat culture is, being ready and keeping yourself and not just physically ready, but mentally ready too. And he proved that he's been just growing as a basketball player, growing as a person over this last season, being with the team and making most of his opportunities. And, the opportunity to just sit back and watch us through the playoffs, not playing as much as he would like, but knowing if the opportunity came, he would be ready for the moment, and he showed that last night. So I'm excited for his opportunities moving forward as well.
And one more thing, Nick. Andre, just dealing with their size. Obviously, Spo played small at times when they had one big on the floor. How overwhelming can it be to deal with their size as you felt last night?
It's a part of the game, and it's good to go through that and have that experience and seeing how you can adjust and be prepared for it even better going into the following games. So, it's something they use as a strength, and, we got a chance to experience that and feel that. So now it's about us making the the right adjustments and do what we got to do so it doesn't hurt us as much.
Hi, Jay. The Heat announced, as you know, that Bam is doubtful, Goran is doubtful. I guess with no Bam, you're probably going to see Kelly or Myers, possibly both. What can they add in this series, in your opinion, with the Lakers' size? And can they maybe help pull some of the Lakers' bigs out, since they're such effective three-point shooters, sort of pull them out of the paint?
Yeah, obviously, those guys definitely spread the floor for us. And our big bodies to match their length and the inside. So we know exactly what Myers and Kelly brings to our team, and hopefully we can exploit that to the best of our abilities. And yeah, hopefully that's the game plan moving forward. We know exactly how they can affect the game. It's just a matter of us putting them in position to help us win games.
And one more thing, just you've obviously practiced against Derek Jones, hasn't played a ton in the series. When he's at his best, how good a defender is he?
Well, he's definitely can be a disruptive defender for the opposing team. Obviously, he brings length and he's definitely an athletic guy, so he can definitely alter some shots, and that's what we need moving forward. When he steps on the court, he can definitely affect the game at a high level, and we're aware of that, and we're going to need that.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Christos from SDNA Greece. Go ahead.
Hello, Jay. What would you like to change on game 2 about your approach on the game?
Just obviously take control. I think that's turnovers and our shot selection and controlling their fast break tempo a little better. I like to see that game too. That's basically it. You just got to control the things that you can control to your best of your abilities at this time of the year, and that affects that when you control what you control on offense, that'll affect what you do on the defensive end as well. So play hand to hand.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Dennis Freeman. Go ahead, Dennis.
Hi, Jay. Do you feel like it's appropriate or fair to ask players to speak out on the lack of African-American head coaches, given the fact that players have spoken out about social justice issues?
Repeat the question.
The question is, do you think it's fair or appropriate for players to speak out on the lack of black head coaches, given the fact that players have spoken out against systemic racism and social justice?
I think it's fair. I think everyone has a freedom of speech, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. It's just you telling your side of what you believe. I just feel like, yeah, a player in this league definitely has the right to speak on it if they deem so. So, yeah, that's my answer to it.
All right, Mike, I'm kicking it to you for anyone who's there physically.
Yeah, that's kind of good.
Hey, Jay. Eric was talking about how, and you obviously brought up with Kelly, but Kendrick has been one of the guys in the gym who has not gotten a lot of time, but he's seen behind the scenes working hard, especially after coming back from COVID. What have you seen as his teammate sort of in the background that led to what he was able to do in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I've been telling him, let's stay prepared, stay ready. I've saw this story a million times where guys in the rotation during the season, they come playoff time, he's out of the rotation. And a couple of series in, he's back in the rotation. So you have to stay prepared. You have to be a professional. And that's my message as a leader on this team, especially an older guy he looks up to. I just was always in his ear, especially I dated back to the Indiana series the most because it hit him the hardest when he first realized he wasn't in the rotation. Just stay prepared, stay ready. Your moment is going to come again, and you have to take advantage of it. And I just feel like that was my message, and obviously it played out to where he had a good game and good inning of game 1, and hopefully he can roll over to game 2 and the rest of the series for us.
You mentioned the Indiana series. Was that a point where you saw him kind of get reinvested and be like, okay, I actually could get another chance down the road, and I need to be working hard in the practice?
100%. I think I remember when Gordon went out probably game 4, game 5 of that series for a split second, and coach threw him in, and he makes some plays. He makes some plays on the offensive end, and I remember him coming back to the sideline. I told him, I told you, your number's going to get called again. You just have to stay prepared, stay ready. Don't let it get too. You can't get frustrated with the process of what the coaches see and what the coaches do on a game plan situation. So my message to him was just stay ready at all times. Just continue to work, put in the work behind the scenes, and when your number's called again, take full advantage.
Any questions in person here? First question here, Tim Reynolds on the right side.
Hey, Tyler, what did you learn last night about what's different about a finals game?
I think the intensity was the same as the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, we know how intense that was, but obviously you need to play harder. Every possession matters, especially when you're playing a team like that we're playing. They're so talented, and you do need to play almost a perfect game. So we need to get the right shots. Need to play harder, like I said, and we got to be more physical. We got to be that team that's, the Miami Heat. We need to play like ourselves. And, game 2, I think we're going to come back and bounce back how we should.
Next question is David from La Gazzetta.
Hey, Tyler, obviously this is your first time in the finals. Do you have the time to sort of realize where you are? I mean, playing on this big stage, and how much this impacts you?
I do realize we're playing in the NBA Finals, but as a team, that's what we've wanted all year. We got 4 wins to go to accomplish our goal, and no matter how big the stage is, you got to work it out and be ready to play when that ball tips. So, one game we let one game slip. Obviously, we know how good the other team is that we're playing, so we're gonna have to come out game 2 with a lot of focus and energy.
Next question, Ethan Skolnick.
Tyler, obviously you've had the ball in your hands a lot here in the bubble and particularly in the playoffs, but you've also played really well with Goran. How does his potential absence change what you do in any way?
I think it hurts our team a lot, not just me. Obviously, I've been playing with Goran my whole rookie season. From the very beginning, we came off the bench together. So, it's definitely going to hurt me because of, he takes some of the handling priorities off of me, and, he makes a lot of plays for us and makes plays for myself. So, at the end of the day, it's going to be a big loss for us, obviously. But we feel for him right now. We hope that he can, get back, and we know how much he wants to win, how much he wants to help us compete. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be a big loss if he is out. But next man up mentality is how we go.
Next question, Jason Jackson.
Tyler, 2 questions for you. First one, just you guys have used resiliency as a tenor of the foundation of who you all are. You obviously have bounced back from losses in these playoffs without defeat. How important will that mentality be dealing with the adversity you have in front of you now?
It'll be very important. I think throughout the whole playoff run, you've seen how resilient we are. Can be down 12 going into the 4th quarter, come back and still win. But we know who we're going up against, and we can't dig ourselves into too big of a hole and try to climb ourselves out of that hole. It'll be definitely they're too talented. And I think, like Jimmy said, we almost need to play a perfect game to beat them. And it's not just one game. We're going to have to do it 4 times. So we're just going to have to fight. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be the hardest things we do in our basketball careers. But I think we had the right personnel, the right guys, and the right mindset to do it.
You guys did start off so well, but obviously the way the Lakers pushed back at the end of the 1st quarter, they had another run in the 2nd and the 3rd. Jimmy says the defense has to be the way to stop those things, but is there an offensive response as well that has to accompany that if the Lakers are rolling like that?
Yeah. Obviously, we know our defense needs to be better. We need to be more physical. We need to rebound the ball. We need to play like, you know, the Miami Heat have played the whole playoff run. But like you said, I think the better shots we get, the more shots we make, that will definitely help us to get back and get our defense set and, you know, be able to really guard them in the positions that we want.
Morgan, in person here.
Tyler, how much pressure do you put on yourself for game 2? And is it that you're just trying to move forward from game 1 after learning those lessons, or are you taking that with you?
I mean, I always put pressure on myself. I mean, that's who I am. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just basketball, and that's what we do for a living. You know, we play basketball, and we're playing it at the highest level for a reason. So, we're going to bounce back as a team. I think game 2 is going to be, you know, a dogfight as it should. But we're going to come out with a lot of focus and a lot of energy, for sure.
Next question is Anthony Chang.
Hey, Tyler. Obviously, Bam carries so much responsibility on both ends of the court. If he's not able to play, how much changes schematically for you guys just on both ends of the court? How much changes schematically?
I think, you know, almost everything changes because of how much Bam does for us offensively and defensively. So, you know, whatever happens with Bam, you know, I'm sure Coach, you know, has some adjustments that we're going to make. But, you know, I couldn't really tell you, you know, what it would look like without Bam. So we'll see what happens.
Next question is Eric Reed.
Hey, Tyler, you and Kendrick go back to Summer League over a year ago as rookie teammates. I thought the one silver lining of last night was Kendrick's performance in the second half. How good did it feel for you as rookie teammate to see him persevere and work through all that he's had to work through and have that kind of game in his first finals game?
Yeah, I was happy for him. Like you said, we've been playing together since last summer. And, you know, he's been through a lot, obviously, from being the starting point guard all year and then to sit out and not really be in the rotation throughout these playoffs. And for him to step in, he's been working every single day in practice with the same attitude. You know, he's great in the locker room, and, you know, we're happy that he, you know, got some confidence last night and, you know, got his rhythm going. So, you know, we're just happy for him.
Dan, in person here on your right.
Hi, Tyler. You guys, the process to get to this point is so immense, longer than any NBA season in history. What was it like then in game 1 to see Goran get hurt, to see Bam holding his shoulder, to see Jimmy roll an ankle? Was it deflating at all in those moments? And do you think you guys, if it was, have recovered from that?
It was, I wouldn't say it was deflating. It was just unfortunate to see because of, you know, we know how hard those guys work, and as a team, we know how hard we've worked all season to get to this point. And we're definitely not saying, you know, that it's over. But, you know, we know how bad Goran wants to win and how bad he wants to be out there to compete with us. And, you know, we're definitely feeling for him because of, like I said, how hard he works and his will to win. But at the end of the day, it's next man up. And we're hoping that, you know, those guys are healthy and can get back. But, you know, we got to compete. We have a job to do. And, you know, whoever's out there, that's who we're going to have to do it with.
Next question, Dennis Freeman.
Tyler, do you simply, as a team, do you guys simply just turn the page from game 1, or do you use that as motivation moving forward?
I think we can turn the page, you know, but we definitely have to, you know, learn from game 1. We have to look at the film and see what we did wrong. But to be honest, a lot of it isn't schematics. It's about us being more physical, being the tougher team, playing harder. You know, those 3 things right there are the big key to why we made it this far. So, you know, it's going to take those three things to really bounce back and put up a fight.